Today on JiK Labs, we're going to show you two ways you can transpose your data. Copy and paste, and the equation transpose. Let's get started. Now that you have Excel open and ready to go, you're going to see that we have some data here for us. We have our header column with 3 rows of items, cost, and sell price. And we have 4 rows of actual data. But this is how it is set up. But what if we wanted item, cost, and sell price to be the rows and the items to be the columns? So we're going to show you 2 ways that you can easily transpose this data. Some ways may work for you, some ways not. And we're going to explain the differences between both of those. So here we go. So first things first, we're going to look at copy and paste. We're going to highlight the data. We're going to copy it with Control C, or you can right click and say copy. Then we're going to click to where we want our data to start. We're going to right click and we're going to say paste special. And then we're going to look for the little guy that has the 90-degree angle pointing right and down. You're going to click on that and look at that. Now the data is just how we want it. It is in fact transposed, and now we have item, cost, and sell price running in a single column or each row, and then the items are the columns. And that carries over the formatting and everything for us. So now let's look at the equation transpose and how does that differ from copy and paste. Well, just like any equation, we're going to hit equals and we're going to do transpose. We're going to open the equations and we're going to select the array that we want to do. This is an important thing to remember. We are running Microsoft 365, so if we close out those parentheses and hit enter, Microsoft is going to fill out that array for us. And if we try to delete anything, it's not going to do it for us. So let's back this out. If you're running an older version of Excel, you're going to see that we are 3 columns by 5. So you need to come over here, highlight 3, and go over 5. And then type in transpose. And we're going from A1 to C5. Close out those parentheses. Normally you would just hit enter and be done. But to make the array in older versions of Excel, you have to hit Control Shift and enter. And you can see, if you look up here in our formula bar, that it has the brackets around it, meaning that it's an array. It is the same exact process that we did just before with 365 of transpose, our array, and enter. But when you click on that, you get a pop-up window that says you can't change any part of the array. So we deleted that out. We're going to come back in here, transpose A1 to C5, close out the parentheses and hit enter. And Microsoft 365 has automatically built the array for us. If you try to change something, it'll allow you to change it, but then it gives you an error. If you undo that, you're good to go. If you hit Control Shift and enter, Excel makes the array and it's going to give you a warning that you can't change any of this. So either way you want to do it, if you have 365, you can do it transpose and just hit enter and it's going to fill out that array for you. Or if you have an older version or 365, Control Shift and enter will make your array for you. So Josh, why would we use the equation transpose when copy and paste brought over all of our formatting and everything like that? Well, first of all, you can come down here and we can change that formatting to match. So now we're good. Just highlight the data on the home tab, go through, and we had everything centered, so we can do all that. Now I have all these extra steps to make everything look identical to my original data. Well, let's come over here and say I had a typo on item 102, and that should actually be 105. Now, if we come over here, item 102, sell price is still 100. That was copy and paste. Now let's come down here and look, look at that. The array updated our information for us. So that is a big advantage of the transpose function. If you're just going to transpose it once and be done and never need to change anything ever again, copy and paste will work for you. But if this is going to be a live data, obviously sometimes your initial data is going to be in a different tab than what you're utilizing and you have to transpose this somewhere else, well, then the equation would be a much better point for you. That way you don't have to change something, copy and paste it over again, and you'll be good to go. So now that we've done this with our data, we're going to make this a little bit smaller so we can see another column on our screen. And we're going to come in and add an average. And of course and we're just going to copy that over. Of course, neither one of our copy and paste or transpose have included this information because, well, first of all, transpose is looking at the array that we set of A1 to C5, and copy and paste was just our copy and paste. So we're going to copy this again, right click, transpose, and then now we'll see all of that information. So now that we've copied and pasted that transpose pasted this over via paste special, we can see that we have our average data. But the same issue exists with copy and paste as it does before. If we come to our original data and make the sell price 100, the average here of course updates, but the sell price here does not update. Therefore average does not. But one thing to note is if you look at J4, you can see that the equation has carried over. Let's just say we came in here and changed this to $100 manually. The average equation would update because if you have an equation in your copied cells, it copies the equation and updates them to the transpose. Same thing down below. If we were to come in here and edit this reference to C6, now we have everything in here. If the original data changes, everything changes for us. So, as you can see, copy and paste is quick and simple, but it doesn't update your original data. It does update your equations, but if your original data is not linked or updating, then your equations will not update. The transpose function requires a little bit more formatting if you've already formatted your data, but will always link back to your original data and update as you go. Hopefully you found this transpose video transposing the way that you work with Microsoft Excel, and you can either use option 1 of the copy and paste special, or the transpose equation. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. But if you do it with 365,